In the UK, the final two candidates vying to become the country's next prime minister have gone head-to-head in a televised debate, clashing over the state of the economy, including each other's tax and spending plans. The primetime duel between Foreign Secretary Liz Truss and former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak kicked off a crucial 12-day period featuring three such live TV debates, among other events for Conservative Party members who will decide the context and begin receiving their postal votes next week. Meanwhile, Beijing is urging the candidates vying to become Britain's next prime minister to refrain from hyping up the so-called China threat during their debates. We have more in this report.
Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss tore into each other over their rival visions for the future of the UK economy in their first head-to-head TV debate. The two contenders who are fighting to become the next Prime Minister did not hold back from attacks in the hour-long BBC special. Mr. Sunak told Ms. Truss her tax cut plan would tip millions of people into misery and cost the Conservatives the next election. Ms. Truss said tax rises brought in by him would lead to a recession. The Foreign Secretary and former Chancellor, who until 3 weeks ago were in the same cabinet, talked over each other at times and shot angry glances across the stage at Stoke-on-Trent's Victoria Hall. It led to a complaint afterwards by Ms. Truss supporters that the ex-chancellor was being too aggressive and was mansplaining, something fiercely denied by the Sunak camp.
What people want to see is urgent action. They don't want promises tomorrow. They want things today to relieve the cost of living, but also to get spades in the ground in Stoke-on-Trent and other towns and cities across our country.
We remember the 80s and the 90s, and you know what the problem we had then? It was inflation, and it's the problem that we have now. It is the single biggest thing that all of you are having to grapple with at home with your bills, and we need to get a grip of inflation, and if we don't do that now, it's going to cost all of you and everybody watching at home far more in the long run.
The pair were on better terms by the end of the debate, with Ms. Truss saying she would love to have Mr. Sunak on her team if she becomes Prime Minister. The ex-chancellor praised her stance on Russia, but the row over tax dominated the earlier exchanges. Ms. Truss wants to scrap the rise to national insurance, a planned rise in corporation tax, and would temporarily scrap green levies on energy bills to be paid for through borrowing. Mr. Sunak's resignation as Chancellor helped trigger the downfall of Mr. Johnson. He praised Mr. Johnson's handling of Brexit and the pandemic, but said he had quit as a matter of principle over the Prime Minister's conduct, and that the fact that they had very different views about the direction of travel on the economy. Ms. Truss acknowledged the Prime Minister had made mistakes, but said that we are not sufficient enough for the Conservative Party to have rejected him. Meanwhile, Beijing has urged candidates vying for Britain's next Prime Minister to refrain from hyping up the so-called China threat, as foreign relations with the Asian economy agents emerge as a key issue in the closely fought leadership race. Both former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak and his rival Foreign Secretary Liz Truss have talked tough as they challenge forward.